Arthur was a middle-aged man who worked for the circus ever since he had immigrated to America. He fell in love with another circus performer. He loved his job. Life was good. The circus group he worked for closed down. It was a heartbreaker for many in the crew. But the workers were very fortunate to find work at a large hotel and restaurant in a nearby city. Arthur was employed doing lawn work as well as tending the chickens, which were raised on site in the back of the hotel. He also took care of the manager's dog. It wasn't much, but it got him room and board. His love, on the other hand, and a few other people were employed at the hotel restaurant. She worked as a waitress. Long hours. They worked very long hours. They had separate rooms. He was way in the back with the other maintenance worker. Arthur was not allowed to go into the restaurant to visit because they were very strict about such interruptions. Arthur also wasn't allowed to go in the living area of those who worked in the restaurant. Again, it was a very, very strict place. And if you were to keep your job, you followed the rules. One day, Arthur was walking through the hotel, and he overheard the theater manager from down the street talking to their hotel manager. Apparently, they had lost one of their weekly performance groups. Arthur waited until the conversation was over, then followed the theater manager outside. He offered to put together a circus team to be regular performers at the theater, and the theater manager liked the idea. Arthur was extremely excited, and he immediately sent communications out to the other performers. Some were interested, most were interested, some were not. Arthur was so excited to tell his love the good news, and he wanted to tell her in person. He wanted to break that rule just one time to let her know. He knew there might be an issue with him showing up. They didn't like the maintenance workers up in the front. That's just the way it was, unless they were needed. But this time he would ignore that rule and walk right in there and tell her. They would quit their jobs at the hotel and go back to working together, this time at the theater. He made his way to the front of the hotel. He had to walk around the outside. There was kind of a park area out there, a large garden and benches and small ponds made of cement, cocktail pools, they might call them. And part of him was really, really excited. He was just intensely excited. Just to see her, but then to be able to tell her the good news. But he got about halfway around, and suddenly it came to his mind. What if it's been such a long time that she had had a change of heart? What if she didn't want to take the chance and perhaps not quit the job? What if she said no? He fell onto one of the benches, literally, and began to weep. The long separation and the anxiety of not knowing if she would come along with him or not, it was overwhelming. It was at that point that I myself came out of the dream. And I realized a man named Arthur was communicating with me. And he said to me directly, "Oh, how I had missed her. To that I immediately replied, "Then go be with her. Cross into the light right now and find her." I said a short prayer, and I never heard from him again. I do certainly hope that he did find her. Thanks for listening.